Hi boys and girls, I really hope you enjoyed the story Wilma Unlimited. I know I really did, and I really had never heard the story before or heard much about Wilma Rudolph, and she was very inspiring. So if we're thinking about main idea and theme this week, we would probably want to start with kind of thinking of a summary of the story, kind of keeping in mind those key important details from it. So I know you've practiced working with someone in Wanted But So, and I even added a then at the end to include something from the ending. So we have somebody who was Wilma Rudolph in Wilma Unlimited, and our author was Kathleen Krull, and she wanted to walk again after she had had polio, but doctors said she would never walk again. So she wore a brace and she did her leg exercises, and then she walked and ran in the Olympics, and she ended up winning 3 gold medals. So it's nice to start with something like this to get us just thinking about what was the big idea in the story, some of those key important details. And then what we want to do is kind of think of what that main idea was, and it can help us think of a theme for the story. So the main idea tells what the story is about. The theme is the message or lesson from the story that you can apply to your life. And a really important thing to keep in mind is a main idea. We want those text details. I want names, and I want to know what they're doing in the story. I don't want that in my theme. It's not specific like don't let a big bad wolf blow your house down. Those key details come in our main idea. When we're talking about theme, it's kind of what do I learn from this story? And one thing to help us is, what problem is our character facing? So when I think about Wilma in the story, what was her problem? Well, she couldn't walk and she really wanted to walk again. What did the character learn in the story? She had to work really hard during doing those leg exercises, and she had to maintain hope. She couldn't give up hope. So what lesson can you take away from that? So let's look at a main idea from our story. Wilma was 5 years old when polio paralyzed her leg. Again, I know a name, I know a detail from the story. There's our main idea for one part of it. If I wanted to put this into a theme, one thing I can do is I jot down a list on the side of some topics I'm thinking of that maybe we learned from the story. And so one of them was definitely poverty. She was one of 21 children, so they didn't have a lot of money. Perseverance, which is another word of saying she never gave up and she had to work really hard. Hope. Determination. She was determined to walk again even if the doctor said no. Overcoming challenges. Sometimes we go through things that are hard and we can overcome them. So we can come up with kind of our main idea, and then we can list some of our topics we're thinking were covered in the story. Both of those things will help me write my theme. And I start my theme with saying the author, or in this case Kathleen Krull, believed that, what did she believe? What did she prove to us over here? Wilma was 5 years old when polio paralyzed her leg. Well, she believes that sometimes bad things can happen, but you can overcome those challenges. If I took out Kathleen Krull believed that, it gives me my theme. Bad things may happen, but you can overcome challenges. My next main idea that I could come up with for our story is doctors said she wouldn't walk again. She refused to believe it. So again, if I'm thinking about over here, that has to do with perseverance. I know it's a big word you may not have heard before, but it's a good one to know. So many times in books we read, we have characters who just never give up. They just keep on going even when things get really challenging for them. Kathleen Krull believed if you persevere, you can make the impossible happen. The doctors were saying she would not walk again, but she was able to. She persevered. And another main idea from our book was that she won 3 gold medals at the Olympics after lots of training. And so if I come over here, that might have to do maybe with being determined or hardworking. Kathleen Krull believed if you put in the effort, you can accomplish your goals. So you're going to go to the forms link, and you're going to write your main idea. You're going to come up with a list of some of the topics you think were covered. Definitely family was covered. Her mother rode the bus with her. She had 21 siblings. They took care of her really well at home. So you can think back to the story. Love was another topic covered in the story. Certainly her mom loved her, taking good care of her. Her family loved her. She never gave up hope. So you want to try to list a few topics that you think were covered in the book. You're going to come up with a main idea, and you're going to come up with a theme. And there's clues to help you write all of these. And remember, if we take away the author believed that gives us our theme, our lesson that helps us, anyone can learn in life. If you put in the effort, you can accomplish your goals. There can be more than one theme in a book, as you can see. So you can go ahead and make your list. And as long as you can prove it with your main idea, with a text detail, you will have your theme sentence. And we look forward to reading those.